Hello, welcome back. Now, where we've gotten to now, we've gotten almost all the things that we have to do, and so our sheets should be ready to contain all of them. Okay, so we're going to learn how to set our sheets now. It's very important that every work that we do in Revit, we conclude it in the Revit space. Okay, so most people would like to create their work here in Revit and then send it to CAD or AutoCAD and then put it on sheet and print. It's just total waste of time. Okay, everything that is done in Revit can end in Revit because it is even easier, and the resolution in terms of the picture quality or the drawing quality is even higher. Okay, so it should end here and not in any other form. Okay, so we are going to create our sheets, but I'm going to show you two main ways by which the sheets can be set. So the first method is by working on the system title block, which already comes with the software. Okay, so we can work with that one, and two, we can also pick a plain sheet and put our own title block on it. So we are going to go through these two methods very quickly, but we are going to also consider very important aspects of the title block, of which we're going to look at also very shortly. So let's use this first video to introduce ourselves to the very core parts of the title block or of the sheet, and then in the subsequent ones we can discuss the two main methods. Okay, so let's get going. If you want to create your sheets, one of the methods is just by right clicking on the sheets that we have here and say new sheet. Okay, so here, if there are sheets here, you can load them into our project space, but if there's none and you want to create your own, you can load it from your libraries. Okay, so I come in straight here. I want to go to sheets are under title blocks. Okay, so you come in here and these are the various sheets that are available. Okay, so it is English Imperial, so let's load it again. Okay, so we look for English. Okay, and then we move down to title block. Okay, so we have A0, A1, A2, A3, and A4. Okay, so these are the various sheet sizes that we have. Let's select them and you see how it is previewed on the right side. Okay, so let's see how it's done. So if you choose an A4 with what I have in my library, when I choose A4, I have this kind of vertical panel or title block. Okay, that block type. When I choose A1, I have same. When I choose A2, I have the same. When I choose A3, I have this horizontal type. A42 gives me the same. Let's say I want to build an A2 sheet. So I click on open and it opens it up. Then I have to edit it. Okay, so you say okay, it is loaded up here into the project space, but all we need to do is to select the title block and then edit the family. Okay, so this is what we have. This is an A2 sheet, but let's look at the various parts of the title block first, and then we will come back to edit this to suit what we want. Okay, so these are our revision table. In fact, this is somebody's style. Okay, so this is somebody's style of the title block. It may not be yours. Okay, so those ones that are not actually yours, you can take them out. But before I do that, I like duplicating my sheet. Okay, so we save as a family and then we can give it a name. Okay, so we can save it somewhere and then give it a name. We can decide to call it probably cab A2. Okay, so if your company it's called ABC, you can make it ABC A2. And what this also means is that you can create custom sheets for all the various sizes. So A0, A1, A2, A3, and A4. Okay, so we can have cab A1, cab A2, cab A3, cab A4. And then when that sheet is set, it becomes a common template or a common family which everybody can place their sheets on. So one person creates it for the firm and everybody else comes in to use it. So I create that sheet and that is what I'm going to edit. Okay, I don't want to edit the system file. I want to leave it that way. So I come in straight here. This is not my style. I don't have all these things in here, so I delete it. Okay, I don't have date here, so I delete it as well. The logo, let's say I don't use Autodesk logo, and then I also don't have this revision sheet also here. Okay, so I'm just zooming in into how my sheet may probably look like. Probably without all these ones, I can. Okay, so I can. Okay, so this is what is left. I'm going to adjust this to meet probably the way I would like it to show. Okay, but before that, there are some few things you need to understand in sheet creation. There are two main items here. They all appear the same, but there's a difference. Look at this. It's called a label. Look at the properties palette. It's a label. When we come here, we click on this. It's a text. But they are all the same. They are fonts. Okay, so they appear like a text. Okay, but one is called a label, and the other is called a text. Okay, so on the same space, we click on the writing scale, and we have text. We click on this writing, and we have label, text, and then label. What is the difference? Okay, so let me explain this to you. Okay, so text has certain properties, and label too has the same. Text are just mere write-ups, okay, mere fonts that we place in here, but it has a role that it plays in the sheet. It introduces the label. Okay, so for example, we have scale, and what is the scale? 1:100. The actual thing is the label, and the description of the actual thing is the text. So the text introduces the label. Now, another difference between the text and the label, maybe from the label side, is that labels are not just text, they are text with intelligence. Okay, so for example, if I write a scale here for text, all I have to do is to get its corresponding label that matches the text. So for example, we can call this sheet number. I can pick just ordinary text and write sheet number. Okay, and write sheet number. That is it. Okay, but because this is a label, we have to choose a corresponding label to match the description which I have put there. Okay, so just don't forget that. That's the key difference between the text and the label. So let's come here and see. We have drawn by as a text, and then we have this drawn as a label. Okay, so this one is a label. And another thing too is that this drawn by we have here can be picked from the project parameters, okay, which we set from beginning. Two, this one may change, but the text may not change. The label may change from project to project. Okay, so if I place a drawing with a sheet 1:200, it will pick the scale of the drawing and put it here. So it will adapt the scale automatically from what I place here on the sheet. Okay, and if I say drawn by, if this first drawing is drawn by me, my name will be here. If it's drawn by somebody else, that person's else name will be there. The date is also may not be the same. Okay, so the text are supposed to be constant, but the label may vary. Okay, when it comes to sheet name, depending on the sheet you place here on the drawing, it pops up here. Depending on the drawing we put here and also the name we give it at the sheet panel on the project browser, it will populate here. Okay, the project name may also vary and the client's name may vary. So those variables are the label. Let's look at some of the intelligence that are in there. So let's select the client's name. Okay, so we could have written client here. Okay, and then we give it a label. Let's do that. So I come here and I say client. Okay, so I say client, and then it's client's name, and then here I can say probably project. Okay. Okay, so I name it that way, and then the project name is also here. Okay, so this is the type that we had from the system and we try to maintain it. So let's click on this and edit the label and see. Okay, so the label, the intelligence from the fields that we have here is the client name. Okay, so I can't take this one out, but to take it out, you could have just clicked on this to take it out from there. See, I can't come and choose, say, sheet name and put it there. It will populate sheet name for me when those items are placed on it. Okay, so the right one is to look for the client's name, push it in here, and then we say apply and we are good to go. Okay, so this is basically what the title blocks are made of. So if this is a standard one for you, you can keep it, but we are going to also try another method that has a blank sheet, and we also try and import our card title block also onto that sheet and see how the two can blend. Thank you. Please click here to like this video. Your comments are welcome. Subscribe to get new videos.